What's up, guys? Back with another video. So today, uh, I was actually, I just got off of work, and as I was working, I was talking to one of the guys, and he had asked me what I thought about marriage, and if I saw it, for myself. Um, in which I believe, um, no, at this moment, as of right now, I do not believe I'll be married, anytime soon. And it's a little bit of a big if for me as far as marriage and how I feel about it. Um, it's just I don't know. I feel like uh, marriage. I guess for marriage for me, it's a lot more than just love. Um, Love just isn't enough when it comes to a marriage. And I know there's some people that are like, oh well, if you're with them for X amount of time, or if you're with them for this long and you love them, then why not? But like I said, I just feel like something like that has to, it's a lot deeper than love for me. Okay, again, this is just me, how I feel about it, my perspective. I don't want anybody that's out there and already married to feel offended or some type of way about what it is that I'm saying. Again, this is just how I feel about marriage, for myself. Um, yeah, I feel like it's a lot deeper than love, especially these days. There's also I don't know. I just for me it's just having to find um, somebody that has a lot of similar values. Um, I mean, it comes down to financial stability, mental stability. What are your goals? What are our goals? Do we share, you know, a common goal? Do we share anything in common? Our morals, our beliefs. What it is that we are expecting from one another. Whether it be intimately or emotionally. Um, all of those things factor into creating that opportunity for marriage. And I don't know. I just feel like I myself probably am still trying to figure out some of those things. So I can't say that I'm not ready to get married just because of someone else. I also feel like myself, I myself am not prepared to be married. I don't see marriage anytime soon because I'm still trying to figure out, life. I'm still trying to figure myself out, who I am as an individual, as a man. Um, so yeah, again, me, I just don't see marriage in the near future for myself, and that's just how I feel about it. I feel like it's love just isn't enough anymore these days. There's a lot that goes into wanting to spend the rest of your lives together, and it can't be something as simple as love. You know, and not to say that loving is simple, but it can't just be that one thing that is the reason why you're pursuing marriage. Yes, it is a major factor, obviously, but I feel like there's just so many things that contribute into that it would just be a little bit naive on my part to think, well, love's gonna get me there, and love is gonna get us to forever. It's not just getting to the marriage point, but making the marriage last. Because I don't know, I've said it in one of my previous videos. I feel like when it comes down to it, sometimes we don't know how to communicate things, whether it be um, our emotions, how we're feeling, why we're feeling it, or intimacy. And the older you get, the more those things start to change. Intimacy, especially, those things can change, and those things can affect a relationship in a huge way. And it's not just, I guess, intimacy. I don't mean just sexually, um, but simple things. Holding hands. PDA. Little kisses here and there, the flowers, the things like that. You know, Intimacy can run in a. There's a huge scale. There's many ways that you can show intimacy, but yeah, I mean, if that starts to fade out, that can definitely cripple a relationship. Financial stability, if one or the other starts to kind of fall on their end and the other one's kind of having to hold the relationship up at some point, maybe that'll start to bother one or the other. I mean, women, ladies, let's be honest. If you are with your significant other and, he loses his job and he's kind of like on a bit of a, downward spiral there. I mean, I'm sure there's only so much you're going to be willing to put up with before you're finally like, okay, this is it. Something's got to give. If not, then I got to go. And I mean, let's be real. That's going to be a thought that would cross your mind at some point or another. But yeah, I mean, rather than us communicating it, we would just try to stick it out because I don't know, maybe we believe, well, that's my husband, that's my wife, I love them, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell them how I'm feeling. I'm not going to let them know that I'm stressed. I'm not going to let them know that, I'm tired. I'm just going to continue carrying us and hope that, something changes, something gives at some point. And then at that point, you end up cracking. You get down to a breaking point. Relationships turn bad. Words go unsaid, and then sometimes things get said that shouldn't be said. But anyways, today's video was going to be short. It's going to be something, again, I'm trying to keep my videos under 15 minutes for you guys so that y'all can watch them without having to spend too much time, out of y'all's day to do so. I'm hoping that this is less than 15 minutes, but who knows? Again, this was just kind of like a quick little thought because, like I said, I just got off work. That was something that he asked me, and yeah, it was just I felt like that was something that I could discuss. And again, I would like to hear y'all's thoughts. Obviously, I know that not everybody feels the same, not everybody thinks the same, and that's totally fine. I respect any and all, opinions, beliefs, as long as, you guys understand that we all have our individual and personal beliefs on, you know, different topics. And this is mine on this one. So, anyways, I hope that you guys are enjoying the content so far. I do hope that you guys are having a great week. It is Thursday, so yeah, I mean, the weekend is near. If you guys are having a rough week, just look out for that. Keep that optimism going. You're almost there. You're almost about to finish your work week. Unless some of you work the weekend, like myself, just make the best of it. Life is good. Any day above ground is a great day. You're blessed. So yeah, just appreciate that. And as always, much love and positive energy to you all. And I'll talk to you all again soon.